still do a
So
lot of.
you ran a trail 100K.
Well, so actually, I didn't complete that one. So that was actually it was fun. I signed up, but I'm not even kidding. I was at 6:00 the night before with my friend. I was like, should I sign up? And should I not? And it's like, okay, let's just do it. So I signed up at 6:00 the night before. We went out and like I had like because it was 100K, I had to get a belt so you could actually bring water with you. I hadn't really done any of it. So I went to what's it called, like Sport Runner or what's it called? What's like the store, whatever it's called. I got like a belt so like I could actually bring water with me. I got socks for my running shoes and I bought all this the night before, and we went to get pizza that night, which is probably not very smart. And
or really smart. I mean, you're going to run 60. You want to have so much food in you.
So here's what happened is I started that night. I was like, I just feel a little under the weather, but didn't really like think much about it. And the morning came up and I woke up, I run late to a lot of things I do. So I was running late to this marathon. So here I am driving towards this 100K in the car. I'm running late. I put my shoes on as I'm driving and put my Whoop watch and running watch on as I'm driving there, my belt on, and I run out of the car and I arrived like 3 minutes before the start. And as they actually said start, I was still like getting ready. So like I wasn't even ready for the actual start, getting my headlamp. We started at like 4:00 in the morning, I think 5:00. So we had to like run with headlamp, stuff like that. But I realized, so then what happened actually was that 60 kilometers, like 40 kilometers and 50 kilometers in, my body just completely started breaking down. I couldn't, it was physically, I was down to taking a foot at a time. And then I tested positive for COVID that night too.
Oh,
so just,
God.
Yeah. So I just.
Why didn't you open with this story?
I'm sorry. So it was a little bit of a disaster.
Oh my God. You ran how many K with COVID?
60 kilometers.
Oh
40
my
miles.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, and here I am. I'm sitting there going, I ran a 68-mile race once and I'm like,
oh, that's good.
I'm like, look at this. I did it. And this top CrossFitter, one of the best in the world, was having trouble. Well, of course you were. You did it with COVID. Holy shit. I was about to say to you, like, in all my wisdom, I'm like, wow, you didn't eat right. Cause I mean, I found doing it. I did it with Hunter McIntyre and Tommy Hackenbrook.
Oh yeah.
And we ran 68 miles, started at night over the mountains, 18,000 vertical feet. And all I found was if you keep your heart rate below, anaerobic and you're anaerobic and you just keep fueling the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like,
I tell
everybody, I go, it's like keeping gas in the tank and not redlining. Don't redline, keep the gas in the tank and you can go forever until, the tires wear out and the, brakes give out and that kind of stuff. Like that's where
true.
Your feet and your knees and all that stuff start to give. I mean, they wear down. But to do it with COVID, how bad was your COVID?
I didn't feel good. I'm also
I wonder if that exacerbated it too.
Probably. I don't know. I don't want to make that an excuse for it, but it probably didn't help. No, but I'm also a big guy. I'm like, I weigh 225 pounds, probably 230 during that time. So, and I don't do run training at all. Like I haven't done much as in like, I hadn't run since, like, I forget exact dates here, but I think the marathon I did was in January. And then this 100K was in like end of February, and I hadn't run at all. I hadn't run a single time during that 5-week break that was there. So I definitely wasn't prepared. But like, I made two mistakes. I made the mistake of like, first off, having terrible fuel. So I had pizza from the night after that in my fanny pack. So I was running, eating pizza, and terrible fueling the whole way. I guess it was just not very right fueling, as I say, and then not enough. And then so there was just sporadically, I'll just eat some really bad food here and there, and my stomach was going crazy. Good thing there was bathrooms all along the anyway. But then I was going to say what really made me what did the whole thing where I couldn't complete was because I was running this one person, this girl, and I felt we were running very slow, and like I could just see we were slightly off target to finish it within like the allowed time. So finally, after like we were running loops, like eight figure loops, and finally after the third time back to the main station, she was like, "Hey man, I'm just going to take a break," and I was like, "Okay, this is my chance to not be rude, but it's just get away from her so I can run at my own pace." And I did. And there was like the top of that. So the main station, the hub was up at the top of the mountain kind of thing. Like that was at the peak. So I ran out and I mean, full on blasted. And I just ran down the mountain. I mean, like I'm probably running a 4-minute mile pace down the mountain at this point. Over exaggerated a little bit, but I was definitely blasting down this trail. And as I got down to the end of that trail, I was just, my whole body just went complete shock. I'm probably at that point 20 kilometers in or something like that.
And that's where you started to feel it?
Yeah, my knees were just blown up, my hip blew up, but like, so the whole thing, like, it was 5 minutes of just blasting down a mountain that ruined everything for
But
me. It seems.
yeah, it was a downhill that crushed me too. But I think maybe it was just the inflammation also of
Oh,
having
COVID, yeah,
COVID.
yeah,
Your whole
probably.
body's inflamed, and it just you know, who knows, that might have just been the thing that made it pop too.
Yeah,
You know,
maybe.
I believe our immune systems. I'm no doctor, but I think our immune systems like fight and fight and fight, and every time you can put them in such a stress state, they're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, your immune system's like, I was trying, then you did
You
this to me.
you
Sorry."
screwed it up.